After years of trying to make sense to people, I can assure you one thing. There are some people you cannot make sense to. And I'm not trying to deter you from doing it. I'm just saying the fact that there are some people, that includes me too, who just become too stubborn sometimes. Hi, my name is Davinder Singh, also known as Tony, and today I will talk about the aspect of mind which is simply very stubborn. I remember a friend of mine who was drunk, and I was supposed to drive him back home, but he insisted that he can drive the car. And if I told him that you have taken a lot of alcohol, you won't be able to drive, he insisted and he took it as an insult. He said, "What do you think? I'm drunk?" It's something that made me realize it is so difficult to make a drunk person believe that he or she is drunk. And this is something that happens inside our mind. And there is a theory which was proposed by Leon Festinger. He called it cognitive dissonance. Very interesting theory. He says there are two conflicting thoughts in your mind, and you have to make them one. If there is a too big a gap between what you're doing and what you're thinking, the theory is there is a duality, and the distance is what is called cognitive dissonance. If the distance is too big, there is a conflict inside, and till you don't resolve the dissonance, you cannot be happy. So the example I'm going to give you is, suppose a person is a chain smoker, and the person comes to know that smoking is injurious to health. Now the thought is it is not good for health, but the action is that he smokes every day. So what he has to do is try to quit the smoking because this is what his belief is, and he has to reduce the distance between the thought and the action. They have to become one. But what if he can't quit? Now, to be able to maintain the harmony inside, what this person will do is the person will start defending the action. The person might say, "So what? I have only one life, so I live shorter, but I am fine with what I'm doing." Or might start giving reasons like, "There is so much smog in the city, so what is one cigarette going to do to that?" Or might even say, "There is a 90-year-old uncle that I know, he's been alive, he doesn't have lung cancer, so what makes you think I will get it?" What we are trying to do is, we are trying to reduce that thought and the action. We're trying to reduce that so that we can live in harmony with ourselves. So when you go and tell somebody that there is a possibility something is wrong with you, people become very defensive. And it is so difficult to mend stubborn mind. Kabir Sahib says, "Mata paisa amuha jaye kud kud chare rasatal paye." He says, my mind is like an intoxicated buffalo. The farmers know it. When you have to walk the buffalo in a rainy day, in a muddy field, it is so difficult. And what if you have a buffalo mind which becomes intoxicated with its own ego? Satyanas. Now it will not even move. It will say, "I cannot be wrong." Suppose you have a fight with somebody and you haven't talked to that person for years, always believing that that person was responsible for this rift. After years, you find out that maybe it was your fault, and you genuinely come to know you were wrong. Do you concede to the fact that you could be wrong and go and say sorry and mend the relationship? If you can do it, amazing. A lot of people start defending themselves. They will say, "So what if I did something wrong? Oh, chota hai, that person is younger to me, should come and apologize to me. Usnu rishte da pass hona chahiye. That person should care about the relationship. Why that person can't say sorry to me? Why do I have to always move forward?" So what you're doing is, despite the fact that you know that you can be wrong, you do not want to concede. because ego does not know how to defeat itself. The ego cannot be defeated. Mata paisa amuha jai. Amuha means stubborn. Ego is very stubborn. Cannot lose. Cannot lose in argument. Cannot lose in business. Not only that, we always want to win everything. The cups that we didn't win during the whole life, now our children must win those cups for us. That's the kind of ego we have. My thoughts cannot be wrong. My religion cannot be wrong. My philosophy is always right. You come and change me, I would rather die than bend. Kud kud chare rasatal paye. This buffalo mind of mine, which is filled with its ego, jumps around the whole time and then puts me and my life into hell. Rasatal means hell. कुद कुद चरे रसातल पाए हमेशा साडी जिंदगी एक नरक बन जाती है just because of our ego. And this is something we didn't learn. Each time we went to a temple, Gurdwara, the first thing we required to do is bow your head. We thought bowing your head means asking for more boons. We got it wrong. Bowing your head means you surrender your ego first. You put your head down. This is where your mat is. This is where your thoughts are. This is where your prejudices are. This is where you think you are right. Put this down. Place it on the floor and say, Tu samrat vada meri mat thori ram. You put your head down. But the problem that we have is explained in Asa Diwar. He says, Salam jawab dove kare. Mundo ko tha jaye. ਅਸੀਂ ਸਲਾਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, we place our head down, but while we are getting up, ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ. We say, you are great, ਸਲਾਮ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤੀ, ਨਾਲ ਜਵਾਬ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ. I am walking back with my sense, thank you so much ji, if you can make me more prosperous. I have come here to enhance my ego furthermore. And if we are always guided by our mind, which is filled with ego, what we don't understand is each and every person is also guided by the same thing. How can we have flourishment in relationships then? How can we survive? Because each and every time that I have seen there is a problem in relationships, it's all because of ego clash. Not only that, parents and children are having the same thing. Now they are fighting with each other in the courtroom, knowing that we are not able to take anything along with us, but yet we are fighting all about our ego, which does not know how to surrender. So the coming to the Gurdwara and temple and every holy place is to be able to say, remind ourselves that Mera mujh mein kich nahi, jo kich hai so tera. By saying these words, we are supposed to lower our ego at each and every aspect and learn from then, bring it back home and do the same thing with the people in our lives. Because if life is led by this intoxicated, stubborn buffalo mind, then there will only be clashes. There will not be happiness. So instead of being led by your egoistic, stubborn, intoxicated mind, which is like a buffalo, you take charge. And when you need to say sorry, to be able to mend things, you say. You admit you can be wrong. It's the first sign of a very matured person that can admit that I can be wrong. And with that starts the beginning of a spiritual journey. And then you are in control. Your conscience is in control, not just the donkey and the buffalo mind. And life can become so smooth and beautiful. Please subscribe to this channel and share these videos with people who you think can benefit from them. Thank you so much for listening, Ji. Apologies for my mistakes. Gur Fateh, Sat Shri Akal, Salam, Namaste. Thank you so much. See you again.